Hey everyone, today we will solve the problem of reversing a queue. So basically you are given a queue and you have to reverse the order of this queue. This is a very good problem to understand the concept of queue versus stack or FIFO versus LIFO and when to use what. So a queue is also called FIFO, that is first in first out. That means what you insert first will get removed first. Whereas a stack is called a LIFO, that is last in first out. What you push last actually gets popped out first. For example, let's say I have 5 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say I have a stack. So this is my stack here. So when I'm going to insert them, so one by one, first I will insert 1, then I will insert 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Now when I have to remove or say pop from this stack, it removes the 5. Basically what I inserted the last in this stack, right? So this is a property that is last in first out. Whereas in case of queue, what would have happened? Okay, let's say we added 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5. Now when we are removing from here, it removes from the front. So 1 will be removed. So what I inserted first is getting removed first. So that is first in first out property, right? So in our question, what we have to do is, suppose this is our queue that we have given. This is our front, right? So we have to remove all these elements. We will be storing them somewhere. Let's say we will be storing it in some store, and then we will be inserting them back in totally different order, opposite order. Like 1 is removed first because it is a queue, so first in first out. So 1 is in the front, so 1 will be removed first, but it should be inserted in the end. Whereas 4 will be removed in the end, but 4 should be inserted in the beginning. So we want to remove this element first, and you want to access it in the last to push it back in. So sounds like a last in first out, and last in first out is stack. So we can think of whether a stack would work or not, right? So basically every time when you want to manipulate between the order of insertion and order of removal, you can think if any of LIFO or FIFO fits in. So if any of them, you can try that, and if any of them sounds good, you would use stack or queue. Depends on which concept fits in your problem. So in my case, it is LIFO problem, and I will try to see if a stack will work. So this is our queue, the original queue, and let's say we have this stack here. So we will first remove the 1 here, and we will insert it in the stack. Then we will remove 2, and we will insert it here. Then we will remove 3, and we will insert it here. Then we will remove 4, and we will insert here. Now one by one we will remove from stack. So we will remove 4, we will insert it in the queue. We will remove 3, we will insert it into the queue. Now 2 is on the top, so we will remove this 2, insert it in the queue, and then finally 1, insert it. So you see the order of these elements is changed. So basically all you need to do is first remove all the elements from the queue and put it into the stack, and then remove all the elements from the stack and put it back into the queue, and you will see the order of elements has been reversed. Now let's code it. Okay, so let's define a stack here which we will be using. Now one by one we will remove the elements. So while queue is not empty, we will remove an element. Element is queue front, and we will remove it, and we will push this element onto the stack. Right. Now after that we will remove one by one from the stack. So while stack is not empty, we will remove it, so it will be on top. Okay, so start top actually, then I start pop, and then we will push it into the queue. And that's it. And finally you have to return this queue back. Let's see if it works. Let's run it. As expected, works fine. Let's also test an edge case. So in this case, the edge case would be when the queue is empty. So let's see. Also, let's see if it in our constraints. Actually, it will not be the case because elements of queue is given 1 to 10 to the power 5. So let's just try 1. Let's try if there is only one element, then would it work? Okay, sorry, custom input. And 1, let's say it is 6. And you see it will work. Okay, let's try to submit it. It worked, and that's how we solve this problem. Okay, now let's come to some interview tips. So this was a very basic problem, so there are not too many takeaways. But the most important thing is you should come up with some edge cases whenever you are at an interview. So you should always come up with some edge cases. So in this case it was empty queue or a queue with one element. I would see it as a little of red flag if you do not think about edge cases or you do not communicate it with the interviewer. Second thing is, interviewers would like it if you use the terms like FIFO and LIFO when you are working with queue or stacks. So that somehow make you sound like you understand the concepts of stacks and queues properly. So it was not an important tip, but still it is something that is nice to have. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to ask any question or provide any feedback in the comment section. Have a nice day ahead.